Welcome you to this interesting session. You are welcome.
Silent.
Superstars of tomorrow.
Right now, call on the lead speaker from Air Force in person of Victoria Imodo, the moderator, panel of judges, our creator timekeeper, my friends in arguments, and my able listening audience. My name is Victoria Imodo of Air Force Comprehensive School U. I'm here to support the motion, should parents influence the career choice of their children? But before I proceed, I want to define the following key terms: influence, career, and choice. According to the Longman Contemporary English Dictionary, influence is the act or the power to affect a person's behavior or thinking without necessary use of force. Choice is making opinions or choosing from alternatives. Career is a job or profession which you are trained to do, you do for a particular period of your life. There's an adage: once an elderly person sits sitting down, a child cannot sit even if he or she climbs the tallest iroko tree. This leads me to my first point: parents are experienced. We all know that our parents are aged, and we know that our parents are more experienced than us. Our parents have faced life in different situations. They know the positive and the negative influence, the positive and the negative benefits that life gives us. Financial capability. The career of a child can be influenced from financial capability of the parents. If the parent is not able to afford the amount of money or standard education for that child, the parent is to advise the child or deviate the child's direction from the particular career that child is going to. When it comes to moral value, your parents do not only help you by protecting you or providing shelter, providing food, clothing, water for their children. They also give them moral instructions. They also help them. The parents are to guide the children. The home is the first place of socialization. The parents guide the children right from home. So you cannot tell me that without your parents' guidance or counseling, you can make it up to this point. I really thank God for the program that is tagged growing up. Please, my friends in argument, I want to ask you, which of you can grow up without your parents? Okay, well, I think the answer is nobody can grow up without their parents. Then this leads me to saying that parental guidance, a parent has the right to be able to influence the career choice of their children, both positively and in a good way. By Steve Organ in the book Beat Children, the hardest job is not becoming a president. The hardest job is parenting. Every parent knows that it is difficult to train up a child up to the heights that it is. So the parents know the child's capabilities. So the parent is to advise the child on where to go, on how to do their things. That if they put their steps here, they are going to do this. Thank you. Now we also want to call on the lead speaker from the opposing school, Infant Jesus Model School, in the person of Otoyo Anuakan, panel of judges, the moderator, the timekeeper, my co-debaters, parents and teachers, and my fellow students. I am Otoyo Anuakan from Infant Jesus Model Secondary School, Oran. I feel very delighted and privileged to stand before you all today to debate on the worthy topic: should parents influence the career choice of their children? Perchance, I will be speaking against the motion. The Chief Judge, sir, please permit me to begin this discourse on the generic points of view on career as one's calling in life. Career can also be viewed as a profession. Conventionally, at the age of 18, a child is said to have reached an age of discretion, an age where the child can take decisions for him or herself. Since the child would even be above the age of 18 before beginning the university, why then should parents influence the career choice of their children? More so, it is very ridiculous that the very parents who would demand their right from civil authorities would not respect the rights of their children by influencing their career choice. Our parents, unfortunately, used to have the misconception that it's only careers in the legal, medical, and engineering professions that would be rewarding. But to joy, there's no gain saying that such erroneous perception does not only inhibit the child's budding potentiality abound in their preferred careers, but is also inimical to the growth and development of our country, Nigeria. The Chief Judge said, please permit me to refer you all to a story on the Sun newspaper of Tuesday, January 6, 2015, where one Mr. Adetokunbo Ajayi of Ota in Ogun State wantonly influenced the career choice of his son, Wale, to study petroleum engineering in the Lagos State University, Akoka. During the just concluded Unified Tertiary Matriculation examinations, the boy reportedly managed to score the following: use of English, 58, chemistry, 56, physics, 59, and mathematics, 8. How would this boy successfully study petroleum engineering as pushed by his father without a good knowledge of mathematics? It was equally reported that the boy had preferred painting. Why shouldn't Mr. D. Tokumbo just allow Wale to study a painting that he's very good and talented in as his career? There are other instances of parents influencing the career choice of their children for the parents' selfish interests, but such story always ends on a sorry note. If Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, had been influenced by his parents, he wouldn't have made it this far as a professional entrepreneur and a business mogul. But today, Aliko Dangote is a household name in the whole world because he wasn't influenced by his parents. The Chief Justice, panel of judges, the moderator, timekeeper, parents and teachers, and my fellow students. Time will not permit me to expound further on this captivating motion. Thus, kindly permit me to pause here to allow my already subdued co-debaters to take the floor. Thank you. That was a good one from Infant Jesus School. Now we'll call on the first supporting speaker from Air Force in the person of Edidion.
Good day, the moderator, panel of judges, timekeepers, my friends in argument, and my ever-listening audience. My name is Edidion Odukanamumo from Air Force Comprehensive School, Uyo. I am here to propose a motion: should parents influence the career choice of their children? Before I start, let me remind my co-debater that by influence, we do not mean force, we do not mean push, we mean encourage, show example, advise the child to take career. I'll back up my motion with the following points: knowledge. An adage says, with great power comes great responsibility. In that same vein, with great age comes great wisdom. Your parents are wiser than you. Are you trying to tell me you're older than your parents or you know better? No, you don't, obviously. My second point is parents' familiarity. Your parents have lived with you right from when you're young. They have been watching you as you're growing. You know that even the toys, the kind of toys you play with, can show your parents your field of interest from when you're young. It does not mean they should force you to shift from there. You might grow older, maybe due to peer influence or something, is that you decide to change your mind. It is your parents' job, their responsibility, to influence you, to remind you of what you've always been reminding them that you want to be right from when you were a kid. Your parents know your weaknesses and sicknesses. Take, for example, a child that is asthmatic. You know that asthmatic children are not meant to be out in the cold or are not meant to exert themselves with too much pressure. How would a child that is asthmatic want to be a mountain climber? Don't you know that child may die? The parents know how to advise the child and encourage the child. And my next point is locality. Parents can also influence their children to study a career that will be more lucrative in their locality. Imagine a child wanting to study cosmetology in a country like Somalia. Come on, in Somalia, nobody cares about your makeup. Nobody looks at your cosmetics or your face. So how would you go and study cosmetology? How many customers are you going to have? How much are you going to earn in a year? Of course, you're not going to get anything from such a job. Also, parents have invested in their children. Almost all the money that the parents have been earning from when you were born, they put it into your education. They put it into training you. So how would you go up to say you want to become something that they totally disagree with? It is their right. They are the ones that train you. It is their money you went to school with. So you cannot just wake up and start fighting with them. Oh, I don't want to do this. They can also influence you on that. My next point is continuity. For parents who might have firms, industries, or companies, when they grow, they might want their children to take the company after them. Would you like a stranger to take up your father's company for you? For example, your father has a law firm. You go up to say, I want to be a painter. On that course, that deviates totally from the law profession. You cannot take over your parents' law firm. Or maybe you have to call a stranger to come and manage it for you. That is very improper. You have to follow your parents the way your parents want you to be, to take their law firm to arrest my case.
Let's also call on the first supporting speaker from Infant Jesus Model School.
All protocols duly observed by my first speaker. I am Florence Sampilobet from Infant Jesus Model Secondary School, Oran. I'm here to oppose the motion which says, should parents influence the career choice of their children? I will still be speaking against the motion. Parents should not influence the career choice of their children, firstly because human beings are not destined to be the same. Most parents usually say, if you are my child, will carry what I carry, a lion cannot produce a sheep. But I want to prove that motion wrong. If a child was destined by the Creator to become a musician, and you want a child to become a geologist simply because you're also a geologist, I tell you certainly that child will fail. Secondly, differentiation in abilities and capabilities. Since people bear different names, people can't be the same. Twins could look alike in appearance but must differ in capabilities and abilities. One might be socially fit, the other might be academically fit. I once watched a Nollywood movie whereby a young man who desired to study law was forced by his parents to manage his father's business. Although he obeyed, the business went bankrupt after 2 years of him managing. Why? Because he did not enjoy what he was doing and he did not have the skill knowledge about what he was doing. So, parents' influence on the characters of their children could result in frustration, disappointment, sadness, etc. Thirdly, do you know that some children are mentally slow in nature? Parents may not understand this, especially the father, and still press on them to become ambassadors, professors, and doctors, when these children come with a gifted talent. Please, because most children have cases of SCT, that's sluggish cognitive tempo. This is a condition found in children to have the mentally slow, not sociable, and timid. A situation whereby the father does not understand this. The father might want them to become doctors, but they are gifted children. The winner of the 2011/2012 Chevron essay competition, who form a Bakpore, wrote a novel titled Letters from an Imbecile, about a girl who had a case of SCT, but was regarded as an imbecile by the father. The father wanted her to become a doctor, but she found joy in writing books. Furthermore, if parents should be allowed to influence the characters of their children, how about orphans without parental choice? Lawful one. Don't you know that orphans live a life of choice? A situation whereby a child's needs, wants, including career choosing, were always influenced by the parents. But eventually the parents die. How would the child face the genres of life, which is all about personal decision and wise choice? Please, instead of trying to influence the characters of their children, they should rather groom the children to choose a better career that will determine their better tomorrow. The panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters. Let's all rise and stop the inflating influence of parents on the characters of their children. Awareness should be created, and it is you and I that is needed to effect the change. Thank you.
We'll take a short break now. Growing up continues when we return. Stay on.
It was my big sister's matriculation. Mom and Dad were so proud. And the party was quite regular. Till we all got whiff of an unexpected guest.
There's a rumble in my tummy going boom bada boom bada boom. It means that I am hungry and me time is near. I am so excited that I can hardly wait. My mouth is getting ready to sing the Mimi song.
Take me, break me, any way you make me. Mimi, 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 taste me, feel me, any way you want me. Mimi, 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 love me, have me, there is always more of me. I'm your chicken, hot and spicy. Mimi, any way you want me, any way you like me. Mimi, Mimi, Mimi.
Mimi noodles. There's more to me. Produced by May and Baker.
Welcome back and thanks for being there. Now we'll take the second supporting speaker from Air Force Comprehensive Secondary School, the person of Dyson Francis Prenakwan.
Good day, the moderator, panel of judges, my favorite timekeeper, my friends in arguments, and my ever-listening audience. My name is Dyson Francis Prenakwan from Air Force Comprehensive School, and today I'm here to say yes to the motion that should parents influence the career choice of their children. The key points have already been defined, so I want to say that the career choice of children can be and should be influenced by parents with the following points. First of all, can anybody tell me that he or she would love to buy something that he or she could have easily gotten for free? A parent can actually send the child to school to study, to enter a particular field of study in the hope that it will benefit them in the future. Say, for example, a parent can send the child to study medicine with the hope that in the future, if any of them has any medical ailments, he or she can get effective treatment without much financial stress. Also, peer pressure influence. Some of us in schools nowadays, we have like cliques or best friends, and in a particular clique, all of them might be science students and you're the only art student. They might influence you to choose a particular course that you are not meant for. But your parents, who know you, who know your hobbies, who know everything about you, can call you to advise you, therefore influencing your career choice. Also to benefit the community. Nowadays, some parents cannot afford to send their children to a particular school, and that's when the community chips in to send he or she to that school. Maybe in the community might be in need of a doctor or a lawyer, and the community might chip in to sponsor that child to school on the condition that he or she offers that subject. Then that's when the parents are needed to influence the child to offer that subject to come and help the community, and the community thrives in the health sector. Also, the late Dora Kinyili, she was the NAFDAC director, the former NAFDAC director, and that's how she got into it, because her sister had died of fake job. She swore and she vowed that she was going to go into it to see that nobody suffers that fate again. And I'm sure she also went through the influence of her parents to motivate her to get where she was, and she made history. Then added to that, behind a successful man is a woman. I want to make mine today. Behind a successful child is an encouraging parent. Have a good day.
We call on the second supporting speaker from Infant Jesus Model School, in person of Blessing Anthony Sam.
All protocols duly observed by my first speaker. I am Blessing Anthony Sam of Infant Jesus Model Secondary School, Oran. In addition to my first speaker, young people should be given the opportunity to choose and make decisions in life and live its consequence, even if it means failure. Because life is not all about failing or passing. It is all about learning from our mistakes and trying not to repeat them again. It's important for parents to encourage their children to aspire towards what they want to be in future and give them varieties of options to choose from. This will make children get satisfactory jobs in future. To make your child pleased with their job, whether it be a park ranger, a security guard, a nurse, an attorney, or the National Secretary of the United Nations, as long as he or she generally enjoys the job, his life will be happier and fuller. Instead of complaining of how tiring, inflexible, and unstable the job is, he or she would lead lives at least in the area of his career. The main goal of a parent is to ensure that the children lives happy and comfortably, right?
Yes.
So parents, do not influence the career choice of your children. The Bible even supports it in the book of Matthew that everyone has different talents, and God gives everyone talent according to their ability. So if your child wants to be an author and you want to influence that child to being a medical doctor, you eventually spoil the future of that child and make that child a nobody in the society. Panel of judges, the teachers, parents, my co-debaters, and the audience. Do you know that many people do not enjoy life because they dislike their job? No matter how prestigious and stable a job is to a parent, it might not appeal so to a child who might end up getting the wrong job because he or she was influenced by the parent. To end my argument, I would like to bring to your notice that prestigious job do not equal happy job. Stable job do not equal happy job. But what your child chooses and wants to pursue is the solution to a long-lasting, enjoyable job. So my dear students, would you want your parents to influence your career choice?
No.
Thank you.
Finally, I'll call on the lead speakers to come and back up their point. Call on the supporting school, that is in person of Victoria Imo George. All protocols duly observed. From listening to the lead speaker on the opposing party, he said that from the story he heard, the boy failed mathematics woefully. I want to correct you in something. In every career in life, maths and English are major subjects. So even though he failed it, even though he went into arts, mathematics definitely would have been a problem for him. You said that they have the right to choice, so that they will not make mistakes. We know we make mistakes, mend our mistakes, or learn from them. The fact is that your parents are to correct you from going into greater mistakes. You cannot compare the success that a child that has a parent to the success of an orphan. Definitely not. So I'm here to say that with a parent's guidance and support, just like the Bible said in Proverbs 22 verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go, that when he's old he shall not depart from it. I hope that with this, I'm able to tell you that parents should have a right or a say in their children's career choice. Thank you. Now, I'll also call on the lead speaker from the opposing school to come and back up the point.
All protocols duly observed. I'd like to start with saying that there is a difference between influencing and assisting. As you said, as the first speaker in the supporting school said, that parents are more experienced. she indirectly means that children are immature. The immaturity of children doesn't mean that parents should influence their career. It should also be an opportunity for parents to groom young talent in their children. For example, she talked about giving a child a toy, that would determine the career of the child. What if you buy your child a pencil and he or she draws, and you wanted the child to take over your business, and the child has interest in artists, in fine arts? The child would indirectly not want to do what you're asking him to do because he or she does not have the capability to do what you're asking him to do. God gave everybody talents. It's just like telling a child to have a second head, which is not possible. God gave children talents for a purpose, and it is those talents that will help the child to choose his or her career in the future. Thank you.
At this juncture, I'll leave everything for the panel of judges.
Once again, I want to thank you all for actively participating. But on the whole, we observed that Air Force Comprehensive Secondary School, Uyo, raised 96 points. Can we clap for Air Force? Infant Jesus Secondary School, Orong, 106 points. From the scores available before me as the Chief Judge, Infant Jesus emerged the winner. The best speaker is no other person than Otoyo.
On that note, we wrap it up on today's program, Growing Up. I hope you had a nice time watching, and I hope you learned a lot from the topic. Keep it with us next time, same station, on another educated topic. I am Imam Miriam Setife saying thank you for watching, God bless you, and goodbye for now.